Okay, welcome back. Now, firstly, just want to say a fantastic thank you to everybody that's taken this self-isolating thing very seriously, and it's really helping us. As I say, I'm a travel nurse at the moment. I'm here in Powell River, and we're all locked and loaded, ready for COVID-19 should it present to the hospital. A lot of difficult decisions being made at the hospital. And one of the big parts is, as a community, is trying to weather this god-awful storm, really. So what I want to talk to you about today is it's probably about time to have a look in your medicine cabinet and see what you've got, and start to basically think in your planning and ask the question is, if you get COVID-19 or coronavirus or whatever you want to call it, have you got the stuff in your medication cabinet that's going to help you and get you through it? Medication cabinets are usually quite neglected, so now's the time to start thinking about probably what medications to put in there, because again, if you should get this virus, and I hope to God you don't, but if you do get this virus, you can't go to hospital. Not until it's acute stages where you can't breathe, you've got complete near respiratory collapse. If you go with moderate to minor symptoms, you're just going to be basically told to go home, self-isolate and recover there. So again, it's a bit of an elephant in the room, but it asks the question of, what if you get COVID-19, what medications do you actually need, and a few other ideas. So please bear with me. I'm just going to go through what I've got in my medicine cabinet, what I went out and purchased from the drugstore. Now, this is in no way going out panic buying these things. That's bloody stupid. But it's taking responsibility and just making sure that you've got the right things in your medicine cabinet to try and give you a real good help with this virus. So the first thing that I bought yesterday, this is kind of your main go-to, and I think what's prompting me is, when I get a cold or I get a flu, I kind of get the same symptoms. And I recognise it very, very easily. And I always start with like a head cold, where I'll get a fever, I'll start sweating, I just want to go to sleep. And then it will move from my head down into my nose and kind of down into your throat. You then get a cough, it goes horrible there. Then back up into your nose and it'll stream. And then I've got to really watch, because, I mean, back in the day I had my tonsils out. But I've got to watch it stops there, and I think this is one of the big things with COVID-19, is if it's stopping there and it's kind of moving around, then it's your body fighting it. But if it starts going down, larynx, bronchals, into your lungs, then that's where the big problems are. But while it's up here, you've got a fighting chance of trying to stop it. Basically, it does have a high recovery rate. The likelihood is that you get symptoms that are super problematic and need hospital treatment are quite minimal, really, when you look at the numbers. But it is a respiratory tract illness. It's going to affect you in ways that you can predict. And part of that prediction is making sure you've got the right medications to deal with that. So without further ado, when I get ill and I start getting the head cold, the fever, I mean, you expect your temperature's going to go up, you're going to start sweating, you're going to get flu-like symptoms quickly, kind of bone aches, that kind of stuff. That's an indication that your body is actually starting to fight the illness. It's your immune system starting to fight the infection, and you've got to basically give it all the help that you can. So yesterday we were talking about food preparation, that kind of stuff. Later on in the illness we talked about the fact that you're going to get a really bad sore throat. A lot of people are likening it to having razor blades in the throat. So it's finding food that's basically easy to swallow, nutritional, getting the calories in there, getting your body able to give it a fighting chance of getting rid of this virus. Same goes with medications. So first thing is I'm not teaching you how to suck eggs, I'm really not, but flu powder. What I find with flu powder, as opposed to tablets, again, if you've got this horrendous sore throat, it's easier to take on board flu powder. It's a nice, soothing, warm drink than it is swallowing horse pills. So, just a consideration. I've got 1 pack of flu powders. What have I got in there? 10. I think I've got 10 sachets in there. Yeah. So, flu powder. I always find as well is when I'm in this kind of hot phase of the cold or the virus or the flu or whatever, when I'm in this bone achy, sweaty kind of temperature, it's all in your head, it's basically my body telling me that I need to go to sleep. So when I've got these kind of colds, is I'll go off and sleep. And to enable me to do that, because my main option is to sleep the heck out of it, I believe that when you're sleeping, you're not taking energy from your body in doing other things. So all your immune system can fight off the virus. And to help you sleep, there's a couple of things on the market at the moment here in Canada. One of my favourite things, and these are for jet lag as well. They're fantastic for jet lag. You just get rid of it. Benadryl. Now, there's a lot of antihistamine medications out there. This is the, no, I can't even read it. Diphenhydramine, hydrochloride. Yeah, diphenhydramine. What this does is it does 2 things. Number 1 is when you get that hot phase and your nose is streaming, sometimes it can reduce that pressure on your nose because your body's overreacting. It's producing too much mucus. It's trying to get rid of it, and this can actually reduce those symptoms. But equally, it puts me to sleep. I take one of these, I'm done. I can sleep for hours. And the other one is, of course, melatonin. Buy it from the pharmacy. These are the 10 milligram tablets. Now, I'm showing you these medications. Please, please, please don't overdose on them. Read the instructions, follow the guidelines. These are just to help you do what they are designed to do. So in that case is sleep. Now with this virus, I've been looking back and thinking about a lot of treatments I had when I was a kid. So when you had these bronchial larynx kind of coughs that just sit there in this what did we used to do? And my grandma, she was big on steam bowls. It's where you basically get a bowl, you fill it up with hot water, you put a towel over your head, you put herbs, pills, potions and bits and pieces in the water, and you inhale this steam. Yeah. So I kind of believe the way that I'm going to try and do this is I'm going to kind of invent a few of these older ideas. So when I went to the drugstore yesterday, I've got a load of these little bottles. I've got rosemary oil and I've got eucalyptus. I've got 2 bottles of eucalyptus actually. Oh, and clove oil. So I've got clove, I've got eucalyptus and I've got rosemary. Thyme's another one. Yeah, always sounds a bit witchy, like pills and potions. Just get a big pot going, get all these spices and herbs in there, and a bit of eye of newt and that kind of stuff. But thyme, oil of rosemary, definitely eucalyptus. I also come across this stuff, J.R. Watkins Relief Mist, and it's a menthol camphor. Again, when you put it on your hand, it's one of those, you can feel it open up your nasal passages. It goes straight into your lungs and it just feels it feels as though it's going to be good actually. So again, you can put this on, squirt it on face masks, you can squirt it into your steam bowl, squirt it onto your hand, and just kind of use this. I'm gonna see how this stuff goes, but I think it's going to be quite useful. A lot of the other medications I've got are very, very old medications. They're older than me, they've been around for centuries. Vicks Vapor Rub. Again, it's a menthol based cream, stick it under your nose. We used to put it on our necks as kids, kind of rub it in here because it's got kind of a warming effect as well. Cough stuff, a lot of them, they really don't work, but they provide some relief. Again, this one's been round for centuries, is Benylin. We used to have this as kids, always used to taste absolutely awful. But again, read the label and just take it as you need it, basically. Again, it's getting lubrication. If you've got a very dry throat and it's like razor blades, it's getting lubrication down there. And the second thing is to start looking on the internet and working out, making your own cough medicines. One of the biggest go-tos, I don't even know whether this is real honey, but I picked it up anyway, is honey. Ancient treatment for colds and just about everything. Got a lot of medicinal properties, honey, and you can combine it with other things to make your own cough syrups, that kind of stuff, herbal remedies. One of the big things that my grandma was really into when she got ill was honey and whiskey. I'm not saying get absolutely bladdered on this, but it's a fantastic throat gargle. And again, it's getting lubrication in here and getting alcohol in there and hopefully killing off the infection. So throat lozenges, always good to have. Again, they don't do much other than to promote saliva in your mouth. Again, saliva is a lubrication. The lubrication will give some relief down your throat when it moves out of your head into this area. Now, the other thing I'm trying to do is set up a sick room. So if, for instance, you're a family, and this all depends on your house and what you've got available, but it's probably a good idea, if you can, is to dedicate a sick room. So you haven't got people, if they get infected, they get ill, they're not walking around the house cross-infecting everybody else. You can put in another layer of isolation, and everything is in the room, so you don't have to go far. All your meds are in the room, all your tissues are in the room. So if you get sick, you can just go to bed basically, and that's it. As I say, yesterday we did talk about food, and I think there's part of this illness where you don't want to eat, especially in the flu-like phase of the illness. But again, it's getting nutrition on board, getting those calories in, giving your body a fighting chance to fight off the infection. So even though you're not actually hungry, is make sure you eat, make sure you hydrate with plenty of water, that kind of stuff. So again, with food yesterday, just to reiterate, it's about making food that's easy to swallow, catching all those juices, catching all those nutrients as it comes out your food. As again, I was explaining steamers and crock pots and all that kind of stuff, but catching all those nutrients, making good hearty stews, stocks, soups, that kind of stuff, and it's easy on the throat. You get those calories in very easily. As I say, the other part of my sick room is I've got a lot of lanterns, batteries, that kind of stuff, so if the power does go out, I've got light on hand. And I know it's all a bit depressing, but I think it's one of those conversations that you have to have with yourself, that is, if you get sick, part of the isolating thing is not coming into contact with other people, so you reduce your level of exposure right down, but also there is a likelihood that you're going to get sick. So if you do, and again, this virus has a fantastic recovery rate, when you look at the numbers, and it's monitoring that, you know, you've done everything that you can under your self-isolation, that you can keep away from hospital until you really need it. This is not a man flu thing where you sneeze and you trundle off to the hospital. There's a lot of responsibility as you as a person to get as far into recovery as you can before, if it goes chronic, that you need the hospital. So if it starts moving down your throat into your lungs and you start feeling that you can't breathe, that's the time to go to hospital. If you're just feeling hot, crappy, fluey, achy, sneezing, snotty and all the rest of it, that's when you self-isolate in your sick room, start taking your meds on board and start really trying to fight it. It's up to you to fight this thing. As I say, there's no cure for it. You just got to kind of let it run its course and hopefully get through it. So, but what I would love to do is, of course, please subscribe to this channel, but equally, can you put some comments down at the bottom of what pills, remedies, pills and potions and things that you're using, that if you do get sick with this horrible virus, that you can share them across the site. So I hope this has been not a suck egg kind of video where I'm trying to talk to you about things that you already know. I can guarantee a lot of people have got medicine cabinets with medicine from 1984 in there. Yeah, they just, I think part of your planning is need to set your stall out. Don't go panic buying. Just make decisions and a plan for what happens if you or one of your family members does get sick. So, okay, so I hope you find this video actually useful. I'll do a few more over the next couple of days and see where this virus goes. I'm hoping and praying that it kind of starts fizzling out soon, but we'll wait and see. So hang in there, happy self-isolating, and try and stay away from hospital as much as you can. Okay.